Welcome back to the Local Losers YouTube channel. I'm Ronnie. Today we're working on what was formerly Bo's hardbody. Now it's my hardbody. This is part of the Simple Turbo series. We're doing like a revamp, a refresh, version 2. I don't know. If you guys have any questions about this build, feel free to ask. But you can go back and watch the Simple Turbo series. Did my gimbal just die? That was funny. It just fell sideways. Go back and watch the Simple Turbo series. A lot of information, everything you can want to know about this truck is on there. But I'm gonna bring you guys up here, show you what's going on. If you watched the last video, I showed you what's happening now to the truck, but just give you a little refresh. All right, so currently T25. This is an interesting T25. All the T25s I've ever seen have been water cooled. This one's only oil cooled. We got a Rev 9 manifold. We have our version 1 intake elbow. If you guys want a version 2, go to our website, down in the description below. We're giving away a set of these hood props, hood prop kit. If you guys pick up anything on the website, you get entered. If you pick up an elbow, you get entered more, right? So that's how that works. This truck is bone stock, runs 5 pounds of pressure. We have a 5-pound wastegate way down there, and that's it. It's just right in, little turbo, no heat management, stock radiator, stock fuel pump, everything stock. So very, very simple setup, and that's why we call this the Simple Turbo series. We are adding intercooler and a bigger turbo. That's what we're doing. We're also probably gonna have to make some changes on the exhaust. Whoop, went too far. Probably gonna have to make some changes on the exhaust, but that's it. So we're gonna start by ripping all this off. Then I want to start with getting the intercooler mounted and up on there, piped to this side. Then we'll mount the new turbo, run the hot side, and then we'll worry about the exhaust, because that's gonna be our biggest pain in the butt. Mostly because this truck needs a whole new exhaust. The exhaust, it was actually one of the first welding projects I did, so it's not very good. Bo and I did so much work on this truck, and it's so cool to see it back here on the channel. I'm so glad that I was able to pick it up. So let's get started. I'm gonna try not to butt in your face too much. But I am here by myself. So like I said, I'm gonna try not to. But I'm making zero promises. Come on, there you son of a gun. All right. Felipe. Old intercooler pipe off. We're not getting rid of any of that because we will probably need it. Now, let's look here. We're gonna have to take the oil return off. It's just a flathead, looks like. And then that top part. What size do we think that is? 13? 14? Come on, you fuck. This is a oil feed line that we had made at Napa. It's just a hydraulic line. They make these up. They're not terrible. I think it was about $100 to have this nice line. It's rated for like something crazy, 3,000 freaking PSI or something nuts. So you don't necessarily need anything that crazy, but it is what we got. You can use those ones that come in the eBay kits. I'm sure they're fine. We just knew we could go to Napa and get a line that would hold plenty of pressure and fit, because we can show them what size fittings we're using. And they're like, yep, here you go, done deal. And we say, cool, thanks, goodbye. I'm taking the V-band off now. This is for the downpipe, and this is probably what we're gonna have to modify quite a bit here, this downpipe. But I'm not 100% sure. We may not have to. I don't, like I said, I don't really know what all is gonna need to get done here. There we go, V-band is off. V-band off. Now, we're gonna start taking this turbo off. Luckily, the bolts and everything look pretty easy to get to. Try a 13, it's a 12. So like I said, this is a T25. But we're using a Rev 9 manifold, which is a T3 manifold. So you have to get this T2 to T3 adapter, which isn't ideal. It's a pain in the butt to get on here. It's a pain in the butt to get off of here. But it's what we got. It's what we're doing. And it's what made this setup work. Of course, that was the only one that's a freaking 12. Oh, this one's a 12. Just like that, our turbo is removed. So here it is, that little T25. I'm gonna set it over here on the bench. You guys can come check it out and see the difference. So here's the size difference between our T25, our current turbocharger, and our brand new Max Peating Rods charger. There's a discount code in the description. You guys can go to their website, pick one of these things up, and get like 15% off, I think. Code's local. Anyways, so that's the difference. Quite a large difference. Yeah, we have to do this right here. This is our port for our wastegate. We got to drill and tap that guy right there to make that happen. And here's our little T25 adapter guy. So we got to get him off by cracking these guys loose. Not the easiest thing to do. But that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to get that off. All right, finally got everything off. That is our manifold there. We got the studs in, kind of. They're not all the way in. That was a pain in the butt, but here we are. So I went ahead and I mocked the turbo, like just offered it up to the car, found where my top's going to be. So now I'm going to rotate, I'm going to loosen these ones on the exhaust housing, make this feed straight up with this guy. So that's what we're going to do next. Super simple. You just take a, it's probably a 13. Turn the other way. Do it right here with you guys real quick. So it's like a 13 or a 12. Let's try 12. Yeah, so 13. Might be American. And just crack these guys loose. You shouldn't have to loosen them all the way. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So get them loose. These ones here, you can also loosen those to clock just your intake housing. Once you have all these loose, it just spins. So now we're going to find our mark. We're going to go ahead and put him straight up by it. Tighten this guy back down. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want it close. And before we do anything else, I'm going to offer it back up to the truck. Check this out. Looks good. That looks great in there. And if you see, our feed is nice and high. This is a new fitting that I got that'll allow this guy. Oh shit, I got the wrong size. Well, it was supposed to allow this guy to go right on here, but I got the wrong size, so that's not gonna help. So maybe we'll have to use the old one, which I really don't want to. But anyways, so once that's clocked, just bring it back over to your workbench, get it all nice and tightened up, and then continue on with your turbo project. We are going to, I'm gonna tighten that up off camera, get it nice and tight, and then we're gonna start working on this intercooler. All right, I went ahead, took the bumper off. It's gonna give us a little more room for getting in here. We'll have to cut a hole over here. We're not doing a hole here, we're doing this. A little weird, but it's what we're doing. It goes down, then it's gonna loop like this, and then through here to our cooler. We gotta make this hole a little bigger, then we make this hole a little bigger, and then same over here, this hole bigger, this hole bigger. And hopefully that'll give us enough room to get all this done. Now, I have to call it a break because I lent a friend of mine my drill and my other drill broke, so I only have the one drill. So until that gets here, I guess we're finished, which really sucks because I was hoping to have this mounted up today. But yeah, I guess I can go finish unloading the truck. We went drifting yesterday, so the Duramax is loaded up. And then I'm gonna go play some soccer too. So I'll see you guys later. So we're back. Dominic brought us back my tools, and now Levi is no longer in school, right? You have school today? Are you ditching school? Are you sure? So anyways, Levi's here to help us today too. What are we doing today, do you know?
Working on my truck.
Yeah, but what are we doing specifically? Do you know what we're doing?
Putting in the turbo.
Yes. So I already took the turbo out, the old one. I started kind of messing with some stuff. There's a big mess going on. Right now, what I just did is I drilled this hole out and tapped it. So we did a, whatever this is, I forgot. 1/8 NPT tap. And so we had to drill a hole, what size was it? 11/32. So you need 11/32 thing and then do that. So one thing I noticed, since we have this apart, I don't know if you can see up in here. Can you see it?
No.
So let me get a flashlight. So if you look in here, can you see that?
Go on, turn it off.
So these are actually tapped through the casting. This one, this one, this one, and this one. So when we put these on, we're gonna go ahead and put a little sealant on there, some thread sealer, to keep that from being an issue. We don't wanna be losing boost anywhere. So we wanna give this turbo the best possible chance. Another thing I realized, my fitting that I bought was the wrong size. I bought a 3AN, it's actually 4, so got that replaced. I also went and bought bolts, mounted up my 5-bolt to V-band adapter. And now we're gonna go clean this guy up. Gonna get it clean, and then we'll re-RTV it and install him. And then yeah, we'll mount this turbo up permanently, right? We're gonna get it bolted onto the truck permanently, and then we're gonna start focusing on routing stuff. We're gonna get the plasma cutter out and do some other things. But anyways, let's get this cleaned up. You wanna try?
Yeah.
All right, here, get up. Let's go over here. Very careful, just let it touch it a little bit. It's gonna take that stuff right off. good. What? Okay, so real quick, let's have you do this. Let's get this off. I don't know what size it is. It's a 12. Go up. Go ahead and get it off. See if you can do it with your finger now. See if you can do it with just your finger. Yeah. Boom. All right, so now we can put this turbo over here for now. Done with that. Okay, ready for this?
What is it?
This is thread sealer.
Messy. How messy?
It's not messy. Let me see that. Okay, we're just gonna.
Or just a thread sealer for metal.
Okay, now. Here, put this in there.
Okay.
Use a wrench.
Which one?
To me.
Okay.
Yep.
All the way in?
Yep, tight.
Got tight.
Did it? I don't think so. I think you're a little weakling. Oh, it's pretty tight. Maybe you're not a weakling, huh? Give it one more go. Good. Okay, now we're gonna put this turbo together. Okay, let's put that up. We're done with that.
Where is it?
Go ahead and pause. All right, buddy. Now we got to do what's called clocking the turbo. Yeah, and I made a mark right here.
What?
See that little black mark? So that's the bottom. So we want to line that black mark up with this hole. And that's how we know where the turbo's going to go. Because then when we put it on over here, it's facing the right direction. Oh. Not even paying attention. All right. So, got that lined up. I need a place to put this hole there. Motherfucker. All right. Now, because those holes are messed up, we're gonna thread seal all these. Just give them the tiniest bit. Ripped it. Wow. Did you get that, Mama? So what is this stuff?
I forgot.
That's not what it's called.
I forgot what it was called. Thread sealer.
Yeah.
What?
I said, yep. So we're gonna make sure that's lined up. We have to put these are little clampy do things. They go like this. They have bigger and smaller little Johnnies. And so we're gonna put it on the two big ones. And the middle will go to one of the smaller ones.
Just.
You're gonna put it around the edge there. Okay.
It's hard.
Squeeze a little. Yep. It doesn't have to be a bunch. Okay. Squeeze. That's good. Squeeze. All right. That's good. Okay. Got the drain on. Go ahead and slip this guy on. I already have my gasket on so we don't have to worry about that. We're just gonna put these nuts. Now I don't know what these nuts are called, but they're metal lock nuts, so they're squished at the top. Whenever you're doing something with heat, it's nice to be able to use these. Because if you used a nylock, obviously it would melt. These won't melt. So, this downpipe is too long. All right, got the turbo on, oil feeds on, drains on. Levi ditched us. He was like, I'm out of here. I'm tired of working on this thing. Crazy kid. Anyways, start working on the intercooler piping. Okay, so before I was so rudely interrupted, we're working on intercooler piping. This is our first piece. It slots down in here, slips onto Turbocharger. Then we have this elbow. It's gonna go here. I should have probably cut that a little shorter. Definitely. And then this guy in there, like that, boom. Something like that, right? And then intercooler. So we're getting somewhere. Bam. Like so. Space that guy out a little. Yeah, so that's what it's gonna look like. That's far. All right, so here it is. In. Comes in here, goes through here, gets cooled off here, goes over here, comes up here, goes into there. Horsepower. The wastegate is jacked, so I gotta figure out how to get that off. Maybe from the bottom might be easiest for us, but I am gonna have to replace that. I have a couple wastegates. They just might be a little more than 5 pounds. So I have to figure that out. But anyways, here it is. It looks good. I gotta put the bumper on, drill some holes, mount this guy up. We gotta find some bolts that fit that. Yeah. And then we're basically done with the Max Peeling Rods Turbocharger. Everything's gone really smooth. The intercooler piping had to make a couple holes a little bigger here and there. That's my fault. I don't do math. So if it doesn't fit, make the hole bigger. But yeah, so let me get this bumper on and then I'll show you guys the finished product and we'll go from there. All right, bolted up. The bumper on this thing sucks, but anyways, got the intercooler on there. I think it looks good. Intercooler piping. We have one last thing to do up front here. Cross your fingers for me, guys, that these blinkers will fit back where they go. Nope, nope. Didn't expect it to fit. We might be able to do this one though. This one is a little better. That tube is a little further over. Yeah, so we can get this one in. So we may be doing a little work over here, trying to scoot this guy over, perhaps. I don't know. Another thing, the air filter no longer fits. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe it will fit good enough, huh? I don't think so, but it's awfully close to fitting. But yeah, there it is. Max Peeling Rods Turbo, eBay intercooler, nice and tight, bolted to the bumper. Intercooler piping's all ran. It's nice and good, nice and tight. We just gotta figure out something with this air filter. If I could go down, that would be cool, but I cannot. Ooh, maybe I can do this. No, doesn't fit. It doesn't fit anyway, guys. So let's figure that out. And then we got to do the exhaust. That'll be in the next video. We'll tackle the exhaust. Start on that crap tomorrow. But for today, turbo's on.